Okay, I want to do some review problems in this, and then I'll get to the assignment, the 4-problem assignment from this packet. Now you have another single sheet, but that one's really quick. Okay, 60% of the roads need to be reconstructed. If 30 roads need to be reconstructed, how many roads are there altogether? So you see that 60% of, so that means you can put it over 100%. And you set it equal to another ratio, but you need to label this side. This is always your total across from 100, and they need to be reconstructed. Okay, so how many roads need to be reconstructed? Well, there's 30. I know that 30 roads need to be reconstructed, and I'm finding the total. So you can just, we know that 60 times x is equal to 100 times 30. So I could figure out 100 times 30. And then I know that's equal to 60 times x, so I divide by 60. I get 50. Okay, so 50 roads. Okay, 40% of the clowns in the circus have red noses. There are 75 clowns in the circus. How many have red noses? So again, that's another of, so 40% goes over 100%. Then I'll need to label. So have red noses. Again, don't just put clowns. Have red noses is the label. And then total. So how many clowns have red noses? We don't know that. So that's x. And then there's 75 total clowns. So I cross multiply and divide. So we take 40 multiplied by 75 and divide by 100. And I got 30. So 30 clowns would have red noses. You just put 30 clowns. Okay, an item costs $350. It's on sale for 20% off the original price. Find the price after it's marked off. So it's not of this time, it's off. So I can't just set it over 100. That's when I use percent times before equals after. Okay, so I take 100%, and 20% off means I would subtract 20%. That's 80%, because off means, now you need to make that a decimal, so once, twice, so 0.80 is my percent, okay? Okay, now I have to find the after circled, so that's what I'm trying to find, okay? Now before was $350. Okay, so what do we have? We have 0.80 multiplied by 350 equals x, okay? So x is on the right, x is on this side, but it's all by itself, so I just conduct the operation on the other side. So again, if you have the letter, if the variable you're solving for is by itself, you just drop it and do the math on the other side. All you have to do is times. So it's going to be 280. Now you're talking dollars, so right there. Okay, next one. An item costs $34.99. A 6% tax is added to the price. Find the price after the tax has been added. Okay, so again, it's not percent of, it's added. So again, I use the same format. Percent times before equals after. Okay, so my percentage, I take 100%. And 6% added means I would add 6%. And that takes us to 106%. Okay? So I move the decimal twice. Again, you have to move the decimal here because you're not putting it over 100. See, we don't have to do it on these because we're just going to line it up with 100. Okay, so 1.06. And then I need to find the after again. And then before is 34.99. So we have 1.06 times 34.99 equals x, okay? Alright, so we're solving for x. X is all by itself, so you just drop it and then do the math on the other side. Okay, 1.06 times 34.99. Now it's a money problem, so we want two decimal places. So 37.08, or you can take it up to 0.09. It's up to you, okay? But you do want those two decimal places with money, okay? Now then there's these. What is 35% of 125? Well, remember how we solved these, okay? So percent over 100%, and then it's is over of, okay? So 35 is the percent. After of, we have 325, and I don't have the is, that's my x. Okay, so 35 times 325 is equal to 100 times x, so I take 35 times 325 divided by 100, 113.75, okay? Now I don't put the percent sign because when it's over here it's just a number, not a percent. Okay, 45 is what percent of 75? So this time I'm looking for my percent and I don't have it, so it's x. After of, we have 75, and then 45 must be the is then, okay? So again, percent, then of, then is. Okay, if you don't have it, you put the x. Okay, so I know x times 75 is equal to 100 times 45, okay? And I got 60, okay? Now, x came from over here, so that's 60%. Okay, 80 is 25% of what number? Okay, so percent, you got 25, then is over of, okay? So after of, it says, what number? So that's x, and then 80, okay? Okay, so 25 times x equals 100 times 80, okay? So I take 100 times 80 and then divide by 25, and I got 320. Okay. Okay, not a percent though, because it came from over here. Okay. All right, now let's get to what you're actually doing today. Solve for the variable. You're solving for x. This one's easy, okay, because we know 3 times 9 is equal to 2 times x. So I find what 3 times 9 is, and then just divide it by 2. 13.5. Easy enough, okay? Now the next one, you can't do that, okay? Because you got 4x plus 1 times negative 2, that's a negative 2, equals negative 3 times x plus 9. So I'm not going to be, it's not quite as simple as that. That's a simple proportion. This is a more complex proportion. So in the more complex ones, okay, you're going to need to label your A, B, C, and D, okay? Then you set up an equals, and then you set up 2 parentheses on each side, okay, just like you had yesterday. Okay, so A is the expression, and put a times dot between your parentheses so you know what operation you're doing. A, 4x plus 1, and then B, negative 2. C would be negative 3, and D would be x plus 9. Okay, so the times here, you got that plus there, so that means you're going to drop the plus and you're going to multiply negative 2 times each of these separately. So I'm going to times it to 4x and then to 1. So that's negative 8x, and that's negative 2, okay? So remember, put the plus, so negative 2. Now over here you got a plus again, so I drop it, and I put a 1 in front of the x, and then I distribute the negative 3 to find what goes on each side of the plus, because the plus doesn't go away, but I'm timesing there, okay? So 3 times 1x and 3 times 9. So it's negative 3x, negative 27. Okay, so when I'm looking around at this, I see x here and x here, so I pick one of the x's to get rid of. I'll pick that one. Okay, so it's negative 8. To get that out of there to 0, you'd add 8x. Then you add it to your negative 3x. So you have negative 2, negative 3 plus 8 is 5x, and then plus negative 27. Then you got your multiplication and your this to cancel out. So it's negative 27, you're at plus 27. Okay. Negative 2 plus 27 is 25. then you're going to divide, okay? 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, next problem. 11 over 12 equals x over 15. That's a simple proportion because I know that 11 times 15 is equal to 12 times x. Okay, so I'm just going to take 11 times 15 and divide that product by 12, 13.75. This one's more complex, okay? So you know that this times this is equal to this times this, okay? So we're going to have to use the A, B, C, D that we learned yesterday. So A times B, C times D. Okay, so on one side, remember that's times, okay? So on one side you're going to have 3, and then you're going to have x plus 4. Then on the other side you're going to have 4, and then you're going to have your x plus 1. So get those pluses circled. That tells me, okay, I need to distribute. Put a 1 in front of the x if you want. 3 times 1x, 3 times 4. It's going to be 3x and 12. So I drop the plus and I put 3x and 12. Over here there's a plus that we drop. To find each side of the plus you have to distribute your 4 to 1x and 4 to 1. Okay. So it's going to be 4x and 4. Okay, so you got x's on each side. You can pick one to get rid of. I'll pick this one this time. That's a positive 4x, okay? So you minus 4x from 3x. So 3 minus 4 is negative 1x plus the 12 equals the 4. Okay, so x is on this side, okay? You got times and plus. So you got to take out the 12, minus 12, minus 12. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. And you divide each side by negative 1, and that's positive 8. Okay, next page. X over 4 equals 6 over 5. So again, x to 5, 4 to 6. This is a simple one. We can just take 4 times 6 and divide it by 5. 4.8. You can get decimals. Okay? That one's not simple. That's complex. Okay? So, A times B is equal to C times D. You can tell just by looking at it that you're not going to be able to just multiply and divide. So I'm setting these up. So A times D. So x minus 1 times 3. Make that plus negative. Circle the plus. And then C, x minus 2. Make that plus negative. Circle the plus. Will be times by 2. Okay, drop the plus down and you got a times. I might suggest putting a 1 there, so I distribute 3 to each one. Three x negative 3. So you got 3x negative 3. Okay, you got the plus again over here, so that means you got to multiply this 2 times each thing on the side of the plus. So 2x negative 4. Okay, so you got x on opposite sides. Pick one of them. I'll pick this one. So you'd subtract 2x and minus it to 3x. So it's 1x plus negative 3 equals negative 4. Now I'm going to give you a little word of the wise here. If x has a 1 in front of it, you can get rid of the 1. Okay, it has to be a 1 to do that. Okay, so really I don't have to divide. You can only do that when it's a 1. If it's like a 3, you have to keep it. Because having a times 1, like any number times 1 is itself, and that's the same thing as x. So plus 3, negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So again, when I get a 1, if you see me cross it out, you can only do that if it's a 1. If it's a negative one, you can't. It has to be a positive one. Okay, that's simple. Okay, 2 times 18 divided by 9. Because 2 times 18 equals 9 times x, so I'll take 4. Okay. That one's not as simple. So A, B, because this times this is equal to this times this. Okay. So times A times B, so 2x plus 1 times 4 is equal to 5 times x plus 2. Okay, so you got pluses. I might put the 1 there, plus and a plus. Okay, so we will distribute our 4. Okay, first to 2x, then to 1. So it's going to be 8x and 4. Remember, the plus is carried down, but now instead of this, all that parentheses, 4 times 2x was 8x, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now over here there's a plus, okay? So to find what you plus, you got to distribute your 5, okay? Five x and 10, okay? So there's the plus, 5 times 1x is 5x, and on the other side, plus 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, you pick one of your x's to get rid of. Okay, I'll pick that one. Remember, it's positive, so you minus 5x, and then from 8x. So that's going to be 3x plus 4 equals 10. And then it's easy to solve. Times, you got a times and a plus, so we minus 4. So 3 times x equals 6, then we divide by 3, and that's 2.